Your own understanding, truth under Babylon's imperialism. What up? On here once again. This time I have to talk about something that's very, very important, and I really need people to pay attention to this. It was a conversation I was having with a friend of mine actually. You guys know him. I talk about him a lot. Anyway, yeah, his name's a friend of mine. He told me that the idea of all of the things going on with race relations, all the all the incidents you see throughout the inner city, basically talking about violence, hatred, things that things that escalate confusion when it comes to the different races. I spoke of this before on my channel. I talk about I've spoken about the agenda, the worldwide agenda, different nations all together on the same agenda. What is this agenda? It's automation. But that is, once again, you have to ask why. So automation is really not the subject or the idea here. The idea, the subject, is augmented reality. They are to basically provide a platform for your perception to reside as per their dictatorship. And what I mean is, in order for total control, something like that, to have total control over society, you have to have total participation from society. So if you want to have total control and total participation, you have to control everyone. Now, if everyone is not to be naturally controlled, then you have to use witchcraft, or should I say, policies and programs and legislation. Well, witchcraft is the same thing. So when you exclude a certain people from reaping the benefits of said witchcraft, then you are expressing an agenda based on, obviously, oppression, subjugation, and prejudice. Why does the entire world outside of the indigenous community follow this type of social protocol? It's as a result of the algorithmic, computerized, automated assertions which make predictions in how to lead a sheeple to its pasture. Now, this is not human. This is not something that a human can maintain. A human has too many different facets of its character, too many different emotional and intellectual nuances that make the human unpredictable. So you have to control the human that's controlling the humans. Now, there's a certain race of people, the Alpha and Omega, that are being oppressed. Why? Because without their oppression, augmented reality cannot be a reality. There is a anomaly within that code that they are constantly fighting, trying to contain and somehow eradicate that inevitable reality, that inevitable anomaly that is going to throw a wrench in the system. So I say that to say this: every ethnicity, every country around the world is in on the same agenda, whether they know it or not. So with that agenda comes not just policies and programs and legislation, but also comes character traits, morality, just people being blatantly disrespected. Why does this have to happen? Because you have to have different facets of the war machine functional. I said you have the espionage class. Those are your Asians. Those are the reasons why they're over here in your community, taking the entrepreneurial spirit away from the citizens. That's by design. Tulsa was a blueprint, a genetic blueprint for the type of perseverance that the indigenous community can show. So Tulsa is the blueprint for that. So it just started from the grassroots. And in every community there's nothing but grassroots, even if it is under the cement. So in order for the machine to work, they have to put their pieces in place. So Asians are espionage, basically control of, infiltration, and which is basically infantry, and infiltration and securities, I should say. Now you have the European sector. They are basically the war machine along with America. They basically are the ones closest to the agenda at hold. And you have, I mentioned Europe, a part of that, so you have Russia, which is over there, considered by me all this fucking same. Russia basically is, that's communications and military. So, so when I say communications and military, I mean basic, obviously military, weaponry, things that, are to fortify the physical war facet of the whole thing. So the physical bombardment, that's basically Russia and them, and they actually, like I said, their sector is communications. You have the Arab nations. They basically can manipulate religion in a way where they can divide the community through religion and things like that. And they have their own way of dealing with oppression in their own way, or dishing it out, oppression in their own way. Well, they're all in on it. Like, everyone's in on it, because the only way to get automation to be able to live up to the augmented reality, the key is Africa. They have to take it. Africa must be taken. And right now, while we still have a piece of morality in us, they use legislation and other ways of, infiltration to try to, implode it from the inside. And within 50 years, if not checked, they'll be speaking Mandarin in Africa, all over. And we'll be one step, actually probably by that time, 20 steps closer to augmented reality. And the reason why you're having so much conflict and confusion within the communities, the Asian community, and obviously the black community, is because that's what is supposed to happen. That's what they want to happen. That's what is the next step. And a friend of mine told me that as long as blacks don't see the war going on all around them, and they don't see the affiliates, and they don't recognize the uniforms of the opposing side, they're done. And they don't wear uniforms traditionally. So you got to understand, like, what you're up against. You're up against everyone. They are coming to cause a issue between you and Asians. They have already talked about it. They've already done their little, meetings and shit, and they already got together and they know how they're going to make it play out. Everything that's been happening in the past couple of years is part of their whole agenda. So when you have the next probably 18 months, it's going to escalate the aggression. Now, the reason why these stores, these Asian store owners, are so aggressive is because a lot of them are privy to the information in regard to their protection when it comes to when they flip that switch and they allow them to do their little exterminations. They have no legal recourse, so they're free to do what they want. They're free to do the dirty work, I should say. It's coming. I suggest you just prepare for it. That's all.